Hey, Tiny T Prepper here with you again, and I am up here at Tiny T. As you can see, it's a little bit colder this time of year up here. It actually had a cold front come in. It's been real nice up until a few days ago, and kind of a cold front came in last night. It was probably close to 70 degrees when I got here last night. This morning it was down in the 40s, so anyway, it did cool off, and supposed to, well, probably 50 this morning, but it's been cooling off during the day, getting down a little bit colder. But I did want to show you that I had on my Christmas list, one of the things I had was trees, and there's an online orchard called Willis Orchards. You might check it out if you're interested in trees. They seem to have a lot of stuff there. They've shipped this what they call bare root method, and I'm getting ready here. I'm opening up the box. I got one end opened already. I thought, well, let me open up and show you what's all in here. And let's see. It looks like they sealed it on that edge, and oop, that's why it's not cutting. They got protector on the blade there. So let's try that again. Alright, trying to do this one-handed is always nice too. So get the end here. Okay, just about got it. And once we get that open, you'll see what that looks like. I need to get a bucket here, because with bare root, it's a little bit different than what you do when you're other trees that come with the soil on there. The bare root comes and if it's like it was on the other ones I got, it's got kind of a gelatinous type material on it. And let me pull that out of there. I'm going to pause this while I get it pulled out, and then I'll just start it up here again. Okay, got it out of the box, and we got some bubble wrap around it to protect us. And what this is a black walnut tree. It was one of the ones we had black walnuts when I was growing up as a kid. If you've seen my video on the old homestead, my mom, where I grew up, when my mom owned it before she passed away, it had a black walnut on there, so this is kind of nostalgic for me. Let's take a look here, and yeah, it's a black walnut. So it comes like this. The bubble wrap's protected during the shipping a little bit. Let me take that off. Throw that back down. But what they do with this, I did a lot of research on bare root just to see, because with it being cold this time of year, I wasn't sure. Up here it gets down to freezing, and I was a little worried about planting it before the freezes were all over. I'm used to planting stuff with comes in the pots and has dirt and stuff around the soil. And when they do that, you know, you plant it in the spring when the danger of frost is past and freezing. And with this stuff, they ship it what they call a dormant state. They ship it purposefully during the winter because the tree's in a dormant state from being cold, and that hardens off the bark and stuff on it and take the freezes a little bit better. So it's actually supposed to be a really good time to plant them here right at the fall, and I have to water them probably once a week for the first few months till it gets going, and I'll have it on my drip irrigation eventually. I got that turned off for the winter, so we'll have to water this at least once or twice a week to begin with. But let me get this other off so you can see that stuff I was talking about that's there to provide moisture. What they do is there's no dirt on these roots when they ship them. They take all that off, and then they wrap them up with a gelatinous material so they don't dry out, and then that's how they ship them to save on the cost of the shipping without having to ship all that soil. Now, Willis Orchards, they do give you that opportunity where you can order them with the dirt on it, you know, with coming right from a pot, and so you can just put that straight in the ground and plant them that way. But this is a real good way to start, and like I say, you can see here, it comes with no leaves, no branches on there. That's all taken off to help the tree put all the effort into the roots here. That first year, it'll be putting everything into the roots, and then it'll eventually sprout up here. You can see here at the top, the little in there, these little buds down here, those all come out into branches, and as they come out, you can prune those to get them to shape out how you want. This I'll probably just kind of let grow a little bit taller, and it's a fairly large tree, probably 60 foot tall or so. I think black walnuts get to. I know the one Mom had was pretty large, and so I did mark off a little bit bigger area for that. So pause here again while I get that unwrapped, and I'll show you what's under there. Work on that. Okay, just want to finish up this video on this bare root walnut, black walnut tree that I was planting. I had a little trouble with videoing of some of the stuff I talked about, got cut off. I think I ended up by showing people what that was wrapped in, and all you got was a little bit of what the stuff looked like. What had happened was I was actually hitting the pause button instead of the record button. I got it reversed on what the controls were on the camera. So when I thought I was talking, I was on pause, and when I thought I was videotaping, I was on pause. So when I thought I was recording, then I was actually putting it on pause. So I had it reversed on the last few things I was doing there. So I did want to go back and show you the final product here. But that gelatinous material, that's what was in that black plastic when you unwrapped it, and I soaked that in some water for a little bit before I put it in the ground, so kind of wash that off and clean it a little bit. But anyway, when I dug the hole here, I dug it down deeper than what the tree was and quite a bit bigger than what the tree is. It's probably about 3 foot there, and the roots are only about 6 inches wide. And we don't dig that hole that big because the tree root need to fit into it. It's because we want to loosen up that soil for a good ways around the roots of the tree, so they have something to grow into a little bit easier. That soil has been there for a long time. It hasn't been dug up. It's pretty well compacted, and so by digging that up and loosening it below the roots and around the roots by ways, you make it better for the tree to grow those roots out into it a little bit easier, and it'll grow up there a little bit quicker. And what I did there is after I dug it down, I actually put a little bit of dirt back in underneath and then started filling around. After I got it about halfway filled, I kind of raised up and down on the tree a little bit to fill in around the roots, just shook it a little bit to wiggle it and make sure that dirt went down around there. I crumbled it up good with my hand to make sure there wasn't big clods of dirt going in, and that worked out pretty well, and it filled in real nice. And I didn't compact the soil. There's a couple different ways people do things. They either tromp it down after they get stuff in the ground, or they leave it real loose. And I was always one to kind of tromp everything down. I thought the soil had to be firm like it was before, and the other school of thought is you want to leave that not quite as compact. It'll compact by itself with the watering and stuff and the roots in it, but you won't stomp it down to where it crushes the roots or makes it kind of compact and harder for the roots to grow out into. So I just pressed it down with my hands and make sure it was firm, and if I go right over it with it, I'll probably stay away from it for a little while with the lawnmower, and I may have to go get another bag of topsoil to put around it. But if you didn't hear, I don't think I have it in my other videos, kind of takeaways on this is make sure you dig a bigger hole than what's needed there so they have something to grow out into, and don't put any fertilizer on bare root trees when you plant these. I did that with the first ones I got, and everyone died. I actually took them out, put them in pots, thinking I was going to keep them in the pots, let them grow some roots first, and so I went and bought potting soil. I never looked at the instructions since I wasn't putting them in the ground. I wasn't planting them. I was just going to pot them, and I thought I knew how to pot it, put things in pot and grow them. And so I got some good conditioned soil, potting soil that had that time-release fertilizer in, and it burned up every one of them. But Willis Orchards, who I ordered these from online, they got a 1-year guarantee, and I told her what I'd done, but even with that, they're going to replace the trees for me, so they should be being shipped here. This one's from my daughter and son-in-law for a Christmas present, so I got a Christmas present to put in from them, and I got some others from last year for Christmas, and they reshipped those that I'll be putting in. I think there's 7 more from last year that'll be coming. So anyway, this is Tiny T signing out. Hope you all have a good day.